Lagos is a city like no other, unique in its vibrancy, mix, drive, and rush. Yes, the rush. You feel it as soon as you enter the environmental space of Lagos. No matter the direction you are coming from, it hits you. Lagos is God's own city. It started as a trading post that attracted people from far and near. An agglomeration of cultures from far and near like Brazil, Portugal, Sierra Leone, Benin, the Yorubas, Hausas, Igbo, as well as other Nigerians who migrated here for commercial purposes. The attendant challenge for a megacity like Lagos is the traffic congestion, which is viewed as a growing challenge in many urban areas across the world, and in particular, Lagos, due to the overall volume of vehicular traffic in many areas. The resulting slowdowns can have a wide range of negative effects on people and on the business economy, including impact on air quality due to heavy vehicular emission, quality of life due to personal time delay, and business activity due to additional costs and reduced service areas for workforce, suppliers, and customer markets. In the early 80s, there was the issuance of odd and even numbers. This allowed motorists ply certain routes within a specified period, though successful, but obviously not realistic and adequate for Lagos of today. Though not peculiar to the state government has not rested on our oars in bringing the perennial traffic situation to the barest minimum. The perennial road congestion in Lagos has seen the state government devise various means to tackle the situation. The government is still on the search for a solution created the Lagos Traffic Management Authority, LASMA, in the year 2000, and its laws were cited as the Lagos State Traffic Management Authority Law of 2004. It was created as the agency that would be responsible for traffic control and management. Since its creation, it has been instrumental to the progress and improvement of traffic situation over the years. It was created as the agency that will be responsible for traffic control and management. Since its creation, it has been instrumental to the progress and the improvement of traffic situation over the years. The highly visible officials around the state most times do more than just responsibilities in the discharge of their duties. They provide service relevant to the people and the state. They move from daybreak till late night and work under all weather conditions. Presently, LASMA is being repositioned for its operatives to fully embrace civility in all official conducts. The aim is to make them more courteous in their interface with members of the public. This is against the backdrop of public outcry concerning what many have perceived as the high-handedness of a few LASMA officials in handling traffic rule violations. Many have, for instance, decried the state of a few of the agency operative style of arbitrarily jumping into alleged traffic offenders' vehicles, all in the name of enforcing traffic rules. To further strengthen the government's resolve to make the roads conducive for the citizens, the Lagos government in 2012 amended the Road Traffic Law Cap R10, Volume 7 Laws of the Lagos State 2003 Law, and is now cited as the Lagos State Road Traffic Law of 2012. This law restricts commercial motorcycle operators, also known as Okada, from plying 471 roads.
Some of the legislation they are saying is unconstitutional. But for me, I support the Lagos State government. Most especially we Nigerians who not believe in any dialogue. We believe in force. If you know that if you pass here, you will meet the police and others to arrest you, you won't pass. But if you know they will not meet them, you say, let me try my best to see whether I will escape these people. That is a Nigerian man. But in other countries, if you leave Nigeria, common Cotonou here, if you go, you obey their rule and regulation. Why you not obey the Nigerian one? Benin City here is our neighbor. Or you go to Ghana. You obey their rule and regulation. But if you are in Nigeria, you will claim you are a Nigerian. So a Nigerian man cannot obey the law. This is a question to all of us. The traffic law is for our good. So we have to implement the traffic law here in Lagos State so that we have free moving.
In 2008, the state partnered with the private sector under the public-private partnership to introduce the Bus Rapid Transit, the BRT, a mass transit bus system on dedicated routes on Ikorodu Road, running from mile 12 to CMS. The system has since been extended to Ikorodu. Still, in recognition of the fact that other forms of transportation are required to effectively tackle the traffic menace, the government has also shown some serious commitment by conceiving ambitious projects that would ensure an integrated transportation network incorporating the rail and the waterways. The present administration is working hard to deliver light rail system on two major routes, Okokomaiko in Ojo area to CMS, tagged the Blue Line, and another that will run from Agbado area to the island, tagged the Red Line, all in an effort to address traffic congestion. This is the first light rail project to be undertaken by a state government in sub-Saharan Africa, and it is nearing completion. Lagos has a land area of 779.36 square kilometers, controlled by water, occupying 21.79% of the state's land mass. This, for the state, is a great potential. In 2008, the government established the Lagos State Waterways Authority, LASWA. This agency was established to serve as a regulatory body for all aspects of the waterways across the state.
Haven't said much about what His Excellency is doing. There is still room for improvement. We can do better than this. And that is that we need to survey the option of intramodal transport system. The present situation we have is that the road network is carrying over 90% of the movement within Lagos. No, we need to expand the inland waterways more. The inland waterways need to be expanded, and that one requires a whole lot of investment and a whole lot of also public enlightenment, because you really need to convince people why they should go on both. For example, somebody staying in Ikorodu, you don't have business coming with your vehicle to go to CMS or go to Apapa. There could be a ferry that should not take you from Ikorodu using the waterways down to CMS, down to Apapa, without you really having to drive. Like you said, it all puts a toll on our health. It all puts a toll on the environment, the environmental pollution as a result of the fumes coming from all these cars. They all count on us. It's just that people don't know. You don't know what you are hailing on a daily basis. You don't know because nobody cares. We just live like that and things like that. And of course, the stress of every day when you come back, staying on all those traffic, you get worn off. When you sleep, you just sleep like a log of wood, yet you have to wake up again tomorrow at 4 a.m. to continue the same thing. So the inland waterways need to be explored properly. Lagos is more or less like water. That's just it. So we need to explore what we have and use it very well. If it is properly done, people know that there is safety, that if I go in, I can get a life jacket that I will wear. And even in the event of unexpected as rescue, we start having patrol men on the water too, just the way we have patrol people on the land, that if there is any mishap, response can be very prompt and timely as it is today on this thing. People will be encouraged to also, and not that you are bringing old, antiquated ferries there. They are seeing latest and modern ferries being put with all the safety gadgets. Then we have police patrolling the waterways too, because there are also risks associated with water pirates and all those ones. We know that there is security. If I'm going to use the waterways, if there is emergency, then response time will be there. Then I think people would, then we would have helped in decongesting the road.
The state government has since stepped up from procuring ferries to building modern jetties in Badore, Ikpakodo and Osborne Foreshore in Ikoyi, with each capable of berthing ferries of 500 passengers capacity. Old ones had also been renovated and rehabilitated. Meanwhile, the administration has embarked on more safety campaign on the waterways through public enlightenment and distribution of safety jackets. The Traffic Radio 96.1, established in May 2012, has continued to assist commuters in accessing and sharing information about traffic situations on areas across the metropolis, thereby preventing unnecessary traffic gridlock and thus help commuters make informed decisions or choices of alternative routes.
Before now, people, if they could afford it, will leave their cars at home and join the public transportation system. But now, if you listen to traffic radio, you know which part of Lagos to avoid. Many of our friends have radio in their car. They were busy playing music. Many people hardly bother to tune on the radio to any other station. But since we started, people are now forced to try to find out, okay, let me know the state of the road before I know where to hit. I remember he gets one of our programs who asked me, do you have any reward for those who listen to your station? And I said, why? Must we reward anybody who's listening? He said his driver has fallen in love so much with the station that when they're out, he said, Ogamombo, let me hear this last mile. He called us last mile radio. He called us. Well, I said, let me see what is happening. They will tell me where to go. And lo and behold, we give traffic updates, particularly in the rush hours, every 15 minutes. Every quarter of an hour, you are likely to have from the control room, they'll talk straight into our studio. And that is the rigid one. There are still others that are coming in between. If there's any trouble in any particular area, in any dark spot, we get the report and instantly we relay it on air. Sometimes we tell people, if you have no business in this particular area, don't go there. And why are we doing all these things? It's just one of the government's efforts of saving man hours that are lost in congested traffic on the road.
Recognizing the fact that the state is Africa's growing mega city, law and order are critical pillars for sustaining democratic life and help further curb traffic gridlock. Early this year, the Lagos State government inaugurated the special offences, also known as mobile courts, to summarily deal with growing cases of traffic and environmental abuses in the state, with a view to bringing sanity and civility in the conduct of residents and its citizens.
These vehicles may seem like ordinary buses, but its significance and expected impact on the society is a lot more profound. This event is even more momentous because it is a symbolic indication of some of the most important policies of Governor Akinwumi Ambodi's administration on law and order, which rests on the premise that no society will thrive in an atmosphere of lawlessness and disorder. This administration recognized that as Africa's fastest growing megacity, law and order are critical pillars for sustenance of democratic life. The state government has dedicated an enormous amount of manpower and financial resources in seeking better living standards by provisions of roads, drainages, and transportation systems, to mention but a few. And it has enacted traffic and environmental laws to ensure the state remains environmentally friendly all the time. Yet, some have chosen or deliberately refused to obey these laws. This is not entirely surprising, as the history of mankind has shown that obedience to societal laws has never been entirely voluntary. Therefore, prompt and fair adjudication, as well as the certainty of enforcement and penalties, constitute the necessary inducement for respect and obedience of laws. The Special Offences Court was established in 1994 to try essentially environmental offences, and it is vested with the powers to sit in any convenient place close to the scene of commission of any offence triable by it. The interpretation of the section of its enabling law defines a Special Offences Court to include a mobile court. It is hoped that these mobile courts, which is an institutional reaction to identify societal challenges, will facilitate prompt and immediate trial of traffic and environmental offenders. Those are persons, including motorcyclists, who drive against traffic, refuse to obey traffic signs like zebra crossings and traffic lights indications, commercial buses on motion with their doors open, thereby endangering lives of both their passengers and other road users, crossing the highways where pedestrian bridges are provided, driving on BRT lanes by non-designated vehicles driven by anyone, including military personnel, parking at undesignated places, noise pollution and street trading, among others. This set of offences appear to be so simple, but the reduction of its commission, I believe, is a major yardstick in determining how much we have progressed as a civilized society. The procedure before the mobile court is stipulated in its enabling laws. Yes, summary in nature, but it will certainly operate in accordance with the rules of natural justice, equity, and good conscience, in line with constitutional provisions of fair hearing.
The mobile court, manned by magistrates of the state judiciary, is one of the ways through which the present administration aims to broaden the pathway that guarantees citizens access to justice and at the same time ensure the preservation of civility on our roads and the society at large. Another strategy being deployed to address traffic congestion on the roads is a rehabilitation program codenamed Operation Zero Tolerance for Potholes. This is particularly geared towards rehabilitating major roads to give residents a pleasant motorist experience. Through this course of action, the deteriorating condition of some 220 roads across the state have been improved. Some of the roads include Mongoro Cement Dokbemu Under Bridge Axis, Ekpe Ijebu-Ode Road, Odumola Buka and College Road Junction Axis, Ado Road, Aja Obalende Bridge Descent Inward Night Post on the Lagos Island, Lekki Ekpe Expressway, Elemoro Abijo Axis, Billings Way, Oregun, Ashabi Cole Street, Alausa, Abdulkodri Adebiyi Street, Magodo Phase 2, amongst other network of roads. This is in addition of the completion of the restoration of the Ejigbo Ikotun Road, as well as ongoing rehabilitation of Brown Road in Oshodi. Also ongoing is the rehabilitation of Ile-Epo bus stop on the Abule-Egba on the Lagos-Abeokuta Expressway, expansion of many roads, and the opening up of roads across the state. Equally, a task force that monitors and enforces traffic laws round the clock had been put in place.
The volume of people that are passing through this road, that was precisely what called for the choice of this road. There was noise, and the federal government, they were not ready to do it as at that time. And like you know, our governor believes that every road that is in Lagos State belongs to him. He now drove us to this road, that we should rehabilitate the road, so that everyone that is using this road, that is making use of the road, will go on with ease on this road. Initially, we were only walking in the night, but there was an instruction that we should walk during the day as well. So we walk in the day and walk in the night now. It is for all of us, and the people are even so happy that we are doing this kind of a thing. So they have accepted it. They said we should be walking. There is no problem. When we are walking, we engage the services of LASMA to help us control the traffic.
To further boost this, is the ongoing construction of the overhead bridges being constructed at Abule-Egba and Aja. When completed, the relief it will bring to commuters within that axis cannot and will not be overemphasized. To complement the construction and rehabilitation of roads by the state government is the 114 roads being constructed by the local governments and the local council development areas. For Lagos to bring the occurrence of traffic gridlocks to the barest minimum, there has to be a synergy between the relevant agencies of government like LASMA, FRSC, VIO on one hand, and members of RETIAN, NURTW on the other hand, as it is not enough for the state government to put the necessary structures in place, but all stakeholders have to key into it and make use of the existing and available structure.
Since the inception of the present administration of His Excellency, the Executive Governor of Lagos, Mr. Akin Umeambode, he has shown much interest in the traffic situation of Lagos and have been proactive in seeing how we can really mitigate and bring to the barest minimum the number of hours people stay on traffic, and of course its associated stress and economic losses that follow it also. Yes, he came in, to really tackle it. If you look at even this year's budget, he says it much in terms of the allocation that was meant for transport in Lagos State. The fact that he got a great chunk of it going into transportation, addressing the transport needs of Lagosians, shows you how passionate he is about the issue of transportation in Lagos and all this gridlock. So far, yes, I see some infrastructures that have been put in place to ensure that this gridlock are dealt with. A good example is the pedestrian bridges that we are seeing in some areas where you notice that the cause of that gridlock is just people wanting to cross from one side of the road to the other. I give you a good example. Bega is one place that once it is between the hours of 3 o'clock, 4, 5, and 6, the traffic gridlock you see at Otedola, from Otedola backwards towards the toll gate, is as a result of pedestrians who are crossing the road, the express from this side, that is the Lagos-Ibadan bound end of that expressway, and crossing over to the other side to go and catch another bus by Bega roundabout. So if you can eliminate that crossing, then you have as well addressed that perennial traffic gridlock that we have always witnessed within this hour of gridlock. Same goes to all of that distance that is ongoing, other identified this ongoing like that. K2, for example, again, look at K2 Mile 12. Now we have a barrier. He's putting up a barrier now, such that there will be no issue of all these downfall buses that even ride on the curb of this. Once they look left and look right and there is no law enforcement agent, you see them riding on the curb, and also people again crossing the road also. So that barrier that you are seeing that's running from all the way from Mile 12 down towards Ojota is part of the measures to prevent people crossing and also vehicles crossing from this side to the other side that will lead to all those traffic gridlock. When that project is completed, all the traffic gridlock you are seeing at Mile 12 and all those areas will be a thing of the past, because nobody will have the yellow buses will have no option but just go to the service lane and pick their passengers and continue like that. So these are some of these, and the reconstruction of some roundabouts. You go towards Lekki axis also. Some pedestrian bridges are also coming up there. Also reconstructing some roundabouts. Also having plans to put flyovers here and there at Lekki axis. These are all measures that have helped in addressing this. Plus, again, the Apapa axis, the Apapa Osho, the Mile 2 axis have been a nightmare to everybody. But go there today and see what it's like. That's because due to his passion about ensuring that traffic is moving, there's a task force that is ongoing that has been ongoing since he came in. FRSC is part of that task force. We have the Federal Road Safety Corps, you have the LASTMA officials, you have the police, you have the army, you have Navy of personnel working in that task force, ensuring that the traffic is always flowing there. And these people work 24/7. People don't get to know, because the moment you pass and you go home, you don't know that there are still some people who are there who do night shift to ensure that as you are coming tomorrow, they have not used tankers to block the road. Today you have access road to Apapa. So looking at some of these things, I can tell you yes. Then the traffic lights are also working. Some of them have been really revitalized to be working, such that we don't need to put human beings in all the junctions for traffic to be regulated. So signalizing some of these junctions is, I say kudos, because these are things that we know that will help traffic flow in Lagos.
We, the two union, Road Transport Employers Association of Nigeria and National Union of Road Transport Workers, we join hands together with the Federal Road Safety and the LASTMA, and at the same time, the Nigerian police who are controlling the traffic. So if you can join hands together, we can work toward the achievement of Lagos State law, the traffic free.